Hi there, welcome to me trying to make stuff. This time I'm going to transform this NERF gun I found in the bargain bin at my local supermarket into this plasma gun you can find in the bargain bin of your closest hive of scum and villainy. Let's try then. I started by cleaning the surfaces from all the lettering, words and text that was there, like copyright stuff, trademark stuff and the NERF word. I also tried to get more details out of the surfaces with an engraving tool, but that didn't go too well. My tool, I think, is a bit too sharp for this kind of work. During this project I finally learned that not all plastic is made the same, and techniques that work on some kind of plastic will not work on other kinds. And this NERF gun was made by plastic that is not easy to scratch bash. Also, glues that work on some kind of plastic will not work on other kinds of plastic. That's fun. I then started to modify the gun, sawing off the loading ring. Obviously the gun will not be usable at the end. I also gave a general sanding of the surfaces, so hoping that the paint would stick better at the end. I also used my Dremel tool to try and speed up the process of cleaning out the lettering and text, but I couldn't find the correct attachment that would work on these surfaces. As there was no real plan from the beginning, I constantly tried putting stuff on the gun to see how it would work, and in this case I tried to see how to cover that hole I made. At the end I decided to use half a spray bottle cut with the Dremel and just glued on. I mostly used CA glue in this project, and sometimes I used some hot glue when I thought I could get away with it. I then cleaned up the loading ring and glued it to the back. Other than the gun, I didn't buy anything specifically for this project. It was all garbage I had lying around. I had some spent casings I had bought on eBay for another project, and I thought they would fit fine on this one. I liked the idea of pressure bottles sticking out from the gun in different places, like you need some different gases to create the current and then one gas for the plasma. So I just gathered up some bottles I had at home and used those. The green bottle is from eye drops. I've kept it secret for a long time, but it's time I came clear. I have dry eyes. I used the Dremel to cut out the caps, so they would come out of an angle from the gun. Sorry if the camera moves around a bit, but I don't really have a professional setup here. I also learned that CA glue will not attach correctly to brass, so I argued quite a bit with those casings. At the end I cut out a bit of the casing's holder and glued them to that, and that held them tight. Scratch bashing seems to be mostly throwing stuff at a gun and see what sticks. So this is the result of phase 1 with the bottles attached. In my vision, the casings are like capacitors, so they will have cables coming out of them shortly. I bunched the copper inside the casing and then filled it up with hot glue to keep the cable where it was. I then used the tube from a garden sprinkler system for where the cables go into the gun. And I finally attached the casings to the gun with CA glue. I cut the cables to length and then fixed them with hot glue. I tried to use some putty to clean up the places where other stuff was glued on, but probably I didn't wait enough for the putty to cure before starting to clean it, so it wasn't really worth it. Then it was time for priming, and then came the probably biggest mistake I made in this build. I had a spray can of white, an old one, that I thought would speed things up instead of using the airbrush on everything, but it probably was quite old, and I also used it in quite cold temperature, so the effect was quite bad, and it started crumbling right away. So I gave it also a coat of white Tamiya flat with the airbrush. Inspired by the District 9 sci-fi weapons, I wanted the gun to have a white and orange color scheme, so I started masking. First though, a gunmetal paint for the barrels. The other mistake was using that masking tape, the white one, because that one is quite strong and it tended to strip away a bit of paint. Bad. During the holidays I treated myself to a brand new airbrush, and damn if having the right tools doesn't make a difference. I love it. I was too lazy to mask also the back part, so I did that one with the brush. I then started masking for the orange parts. I didn't have an orange paint, so I mixed myself one with red and yellow Tamiya. Here is where you can see the paint peeling with the tape. Real bummer. For the grip, I used a Tamiya rubber gray. I then mixed the rubber grey with some semi-gloss black for the trigger and painted that with a brush. And then I used the same paint for some other details around the gun. I took out the orange again for the side details. I then mixed some blue with some chrome to make an electric blue for the casings slash capacitors. Which I also then used for the screw head details on the gun. Some other details with the orange. I then took a Tamiya yellow for one set of the cables and brushed that on. And then Tamiya red for the other set of cables. I have to be honest with you, I wanted this to be a clean build, like if it was a brand new gun, but with all the issues I had with the paint not sticking and stuff like that, I decided to make an extremely used one. So I used chrome with a sponge to make a chipping effect on the parts where the paint had been stripped. I have to say, it didn't come out too bad at all. To give it some layers, I also stippled on some white and then some gunmetal. Always remember to tip over your gunmetal jar on the table. I then sealed everything with a Tamiya clear coat. And then time for a wash with a Tamiya panel liner black. As I wasn't too worried about the paint underneath, I used a paper towel to clean up the mess and to move the pigments around. The wash worked very well to take away that glossiness of the clear paint and also to give it that old sense. I have to say that even if it didn't come out as I had planned from the beginning, I'm very happy with the result. It definitely is good enough. I hope you enjoyed. I'll leave you with the glamour shots, and I'll see you next time with whatever I decide to do. Ciao, ciao.